creepy voice, creepy person. I'm talking right now about Billie Eilish, if that's how you say her last name. If it's not, I don't care. Man, dude, she's a creep, man. This dude at work was playing one of her songs with the video, and it's like, dude, with like all twisted, got like the Ring vibes going on, like Exorcist, like someone stabbed her in her heart with a stake. You need to put that witch down. There's too many witches out there, man. There's so many people we need to see if they float. So many people we need to see if they float. Lady Gaga's the worst, man. You could hear like a good song, like she has that Nebraska song, you know, like Nebraska, Nebraska. I think it's called You and I. She came here to the Big N. She filmed it. You know, she went to like the Chrome Lounge. That was on, I can't remember what street the Chrome Lounge is on. It's by the old-fashioned Spaghetti Works. And I think 84th. Yeah, 84th Street. She filmed it in some scenes in a barn. I knew that. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like you listen to that, you're like, man, this is a fun pop song. She's singing about Nebraska, and everyone in Nebraska is like, that's us. We live there. We live there. And then you watch the video, and you're like, what night terror is this? How do I wake up from this night terror? You have to just pull me outside and throw me in a bank of snow to wake me up from that terrible, terrible nightmare. That is, why is she a demon mermaid in a bathtub in a barn? Why? Who are these people that sit around the creatives making the video? I would love to sit in on one of those. Whoever made that music video, You and I, and they're like, yeah, and then, you know, what if she's a mermaid? And some guy's like, yeah, and she's just all black and satanic. And they're like, well, duh, of course. And they're like, that guy's like, yeah, stupid me. And they're like covered in black slime, and she's, you know, she's seizuring in it. Of course. This is a landlocked state. Landlocked. Slap the pin right out of that guy's mouth, right out of his hand, wherever he's holding it at the time. Where did they come up? That is not, it ruined the song. You can't watch that. I can't even listen to that song anymore. I'm just like, demon mermaids, they're among us. Just ruin it, dude. Put a stake through her heart too. These just evil witches and vampires running around. Everybody's like, the satanic cabal runs the world. They sacrifice children and drink their blood. And then in the same breath, they're like, I'm going to see Lady Gaga this weekend. Yeah, dude. Who do you think would be sacrificing the children? The woman singing about it? Abracadabra? Doing that's another just horrifying. What a horrifying music video. Just even be part of that. All those people dancing, and then she's like in the red outfit, like looking, you know, over with her stupid head. I'm tired of the evil shit, man. I'm tired of it. Speaking out against it. Hate that. And then there's like a spell she's doing it in the middle of it. I can't do it, dude. And then now I saw like there's like people are dressing up their kids and having them sing the song. It's like, get your children away from the witchcraft. Freaking Lady Gaga, dude. I remember when Marilyn Manson came out. Marilyn Manson. How before the internet was a rumor spread in every school across America that Marilyn Manson had his ribs taken out so he could blow himself? Seriously. How? Everyone knew that. Everyone talked about it at school. And then you had all the people, you know, start dressing up like Marilyn Manson, wearing giant, like, you know, knee-high boots that you have to lace up like 100 times all the way up to your knee, and they're platforms. so much makeup and just other just weird shit. Going to class, getting their capes caught in their lockers, their capes just splishing in the toilet when they're trying to wipe. Yeah, maybe not. Don't wear a cape when you're taking a dump. Marilyn Manson. Dude, there is a video when he was at the Ranch Bowl. There was this secondary emissions show that was a local show that interviewed the bands that came through, and him and I don't know if it's the guitarist or bassist, I can't remember. They drink their piss. And parents were like, I don't know, maybe you shouldn't be listening to Marilyn Manson. And they're like, fuck you, Mom. I'm going to listen to whatever I want. And those kids are now in government positions. And, working for the IRS and other, those kids are probably like the building inspectors that come and, have to make sure your building's ready when you're building it, but they're just, but at night when they go home, they just take off their shirt and there's a bunch of like upside down crosses on their chest and back and upside down pentagrams, and their ribs are removed, and then they're tucking their wiener in and between their legs and looking in the mirror. That's who the building inspectors are. Those are your fire marshals that tell you whether or not you can move into your building. Their parents tried to change them. Tried to warn them what would happen if they listened to Marilyn Manson. They didn't listen. And now they are overlords in high positions of society. Yeah, people are like, I like how people accuse Marilyn Manson of like sexual harassment or abuse or whatever it was. Yeah, like no shit, man. Have you seen the guy? You know who's best friends with him? Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, the guy that acted as a pirate for so long that he actually became one. He dressed as a pirate for so long that he became a pirate. It's just wild. But this is it. You want change. You say that an evil cabal, the Illuminati, that they run the entire world, and that, all these famous people are part of it, and politicians. And you're online watching videos about it, making videos about it, reading X's about it. I guess those are tweets now, and Xing about it yourself and all this. And then you go watch their movies and you go listen to their music. I mean, make a decision. Make a decision. I wonder if this Mountain Dew Baja Midnight at Taco Bell is any good. I haven't drank a Mountain Dew for, I don't even know how long. It's been an incredibly long time. I can confidently say that it's been, we're probably 20 years. 20 years. I couldn't drink Mountain Dew as a kid. All the other kids were drinking Mountain Dew and they were getting jacked. They were just getting fully torqued on the caffeine and sugar of Mountain Dew. I couldn't do it. I drank Mountain Dew. Dude, my little chubby boobies would grow another cup after just having a few. So it wasn't for me. I would have to sit there and watch all my friends drink cold, crisp Mountain Dew. And I would just think to myself, I can't wait till we're adults and they're all fat. And dreams do come true. Not all of them, but you know what I'm saying. It comes for us all, baby. The fat comes for us all. Speaking of which, so I've watched Rocky 4 and Rocky 3 with my son, and he could not believe how vascular these dudes were. Just how roided out and just jacked with muscle these bros were. You couldn't believe it. Because what does he have? Like, he loves Marvel movies. He loves superhero movies. No one looks like that. No one works out. You know, Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. is not working out. He's just not eating. He's just real skinny. He just puts on a metal suit. You know, the Hulk. Oh, that terrible actor. I just cannot stand that guy, whatever his name is. I don't even know why I want to call him Marco Rubio. I don't know. I cannot stand that dude. He's always like at the front and center of every political debate. Anyways, I digress. It just bothers me. But what? Hulk? CGI. Back in the day, dude, a Hulk couldn't be CGI. You had to get Lou Ferrigno, man. And you had to paint that sculpted masterpiece green so he could throw cars. That's what you had to do back in the day. They had no choice but to take steroids. Now they just got CGI, special effects. The latest Superman, that dude's never lifted a weight in his life. They got him in some sort of like semi-inflatable suit that he wears. You know, it's kind of just like oversized. It's almost like he's got cotton like stuffed in there. It's like he's stuffing his bra or something. Lame, dude. Even at least the other, you know, Henry Cavill or Chevelle or whatever his name is. I mean, that dude was decently jacked, but nowhere near the Jack Bros that we grew up with in the 80s. So much steroids. We appreciate it. We appreciate them sacrificing the size of their heads so we could live vicariously through them, and also think that we were just as ripped. Wait till he sees Rambo. It's gonna blow his mind. It's gonna blow. Or Commando, dude. Commando, when Arnold Schwarzenegger just gets shirtless, just wears nothing but underwear, and just paints his body with camo and goes to an island and kills everyone on the island. An entire army wiped out. Doesn't even have an issue. Easy as pie. He gets to the end. He has to face off against the lead singer of Judas Priest. He struggles. He has a hard time. You think he's going to lose, but he doesn't. Throws a pipe through him. Says, you know, blow off some steam, Bennett. Can't believe that. That was the flabbiest bad guy of all time. He just wore like a metal, like steel, whatever they call them, that knights used to wear. Just like a steel mesh tank top over his just beer belly and flabbiness. But it was tough. Arnold had a hard time. I mean, at one point, Arnold ripped a phone booth out, throws it, hangs guys over cliffs. Nowadays, no, what do you get? You get like Peter Parker. Whatevs. Yeah, you can't believe that dudes look like that. I'm like, that is what dedication, a passion for fitness, and so many steroids looks like. But if you ever do steroids, just know your head will grow to this size. And then I showed him a picture of Sylvester Stallone now, and he screamed. And I caught him as he fainted. Because they did, dude. They sacrificed their heads for us. So big. Grew so big. Dude, in Rambo, it's got to be Rambo 4. The Rambo one where he goes to, like, the Viet Cong or whatever. He's always over there, and he's on the river. You know, it's the one that when he came back. and he's taking the people up the river, and then he has to kill everyone in that country. The size of his head, when I saw that in the theater, I was like, damn! Like, the size of his head was remarkable. It was something to behold. I went with my buddy John Paul and his brother James, and I was sitting in the middle. And when his head first came on screen, I grabbed both their hands and I was like, behold it. Behold the majesty of his dome. That was a monument, dude. Sly has a true monument. That's what we call those big heads. That's what we call them. It was that downpouring earlier. We've got a lot of rain this season. A lot of rain. I don't know if it's the chemtrails. I'm not sure. That's what everyone on X tells me. I don't know if the chemtrails make it rain or make it don't rain. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing up there. But apparently they're doing something. Because those lines, they don't dissipate when they're supposed to. That's what everyone says. You remember when we were kids and the sun was a different color? It was bright yellow, and now it's just a foggy orange. And remember when the lines used to dissipate? And I'm like, dude, no, not really. I can't remember. I mean, maybe the world was a better place. I mean, obviously, it was the 80s and 90s. Fantastic time to be alive. Didn't have cell phones just controlling everyone's lives. My favorite is when I'm driving around and I just see like a group of friends. You got like 4 friends and they can't drive yet, so they're walking somewhere. None of them are talking. None of them are looking at each other. They're just walking and looking at their phones. Just stuck in virtual reality. Like, what are we looking for? Like, what are you doing, dude? I always just, whenever I see those kids, I roll down my window. I'm like, play with sticks. Would it kill you to play with some sticks? And I'm like, play with some rocks. And then I throw rocks at them. And tell them I'm going to beat up their dad, because now I don't have to say my dad could beat up your dad. I'm like, I am a dad. Like, I will just beat up dads. That's what you say these days. Here's something interesting. A little tidbit. I was eating Chinese food today for lunch with 3 of my favorite Mexican dudes. 2 of them barely speak English. 1 of them bilingual. He does the translating for me, so I know what the other ones are saying. One has a really, really good laugh. He was laughing a lot, looking at me, and I kept saying, "What are you saying? What are you saying about me?" And then he just kept laughing, and then I would ask the bilingual dude, I'm like, "What is he saying? Tell me what is he like." I don't know. He's just laughing. And I'm like, you. And then I realized it was probably because I was tickling him. However, the one dude that was laughing a lot, you know, he was telling me a little bit about his story through our friend in translator. And he lived in I honestly, I do not know what the town it was or like the city, because it was just so Mexican that I could never, I was like, okay, I've never heard of that. I don't even know how to say that. But I do know it was 3 hours from Mexico City, and he worked at a bank, and he worked at one of the most well-known banks in Mexico, I was told. But the reason why he came, he said that it was a nice town, beautiful town, loved it, left because the cartels are so bad. The cartels are so bad and so out of control that he left. And he said not only that, but most of the police are part of the cartel. So, like, he's like, you can't trust the police down there because you don't know if they're also part of the cartels. And that is just super, super dangerous. So then I asked him, I was like, well, Trump says he's going to war against the cartels. I'm like, do you want that to happen? Do you think this is a good thing? And they all said that, yeah, they thought it was a great thing. They want it to happen. Because I don't even know, they like living here. They like living in America. But, part of them still want, love Mexico, love where they're from, love their home. It's beautiful down there, which it is. Been probably a dozen times or so. And it's just kind of sad. But that's why they're there. It's so dangerous. So they want Trump to, in the United States of America military, to wipe out the cartels. But they said the corruption is just so embedded into Mexican culture that they just don't even know if it could change. So there you have it. And that's what happens when you eat Chinese food with your Mexican buddies. And then the Chinese lady, like the waitress and lady who was at the front desk, she had said, we were like, thank you. And then she's like, gracias. And he was like, they speak Spanish here. And I'm like, she does? I'm like, this Chinese lady speaks English, Spanish, and Chinese? That is impressive. It was good food, too. Very good food. And that's their second favorite, they said. Of course, their first. Love Mexican food. I told them that's my favorite food. They know this about me. And their second favorite food is Chinese food. Might have something to do with the rice. I didn't ask them that. Maybe that's why. I think I'll ask them on Monday, and then I'll fill you in and I'll let you know. I was talking to this huge black dude that goes by Big Mike, and he was telling this other guy that when he played football, he would hide Gushers in his socks. And I was like, that is the greatest thing I've ever heard. I'm like, Gushers are the greatest candy ever. And everyone agreed, except one guy. One guy goes, no, dude. He goes, you think they're better than fruit roll-ups? I'm like, get your paper-thin trash out of here. What do you mean, do we think that they're better than fruit roll-ups? That is the garbage of chewy candy. I don't know anyone that's like, God, I could really go for a fruit roll-up right about now. I'm like, yeah, do you also like fruit by the foot? I mean, do you want to be friends with us anymore? Do you want to hang out in our awesome clique? Because right now, you're about to be excommunicated. And then I was like, dude, you ever freeze Gushers? And everyone was like, yeah, except the guy the fruit roll-up guy's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, dude, why aren't you living? Like, you only have one life. Go buy some Gushers and freeze them. I'm like, do you know how many Gushers I have hidden in my freezer right now from my child? So many packs. And then I showed him one of my teeth. I'm like, this tooth right here, it's hurt for months. It probably needs to come out. And guess what caused it? Gushers. Guarantee it. And then I showed him the tooth. I lifted up my lip, showed him. There was a Gusher stuck on it. And I was like, oh, that was from this morning. And then I pulled it off and hurt a little and I ate it. I'm like, yeah, dude, you gotta freeze these things, man. It's just like just sucking on, I don't know, a Gusher, but the goo is frozen. I mean, what more can I say? What more could I say, dude? Yeah, we found out recently that maybe our son has only child syndrome. And so in order to teach him how to share, I had to eat all of his candy. And I think it worked. And that's it for me today. So Enjoy your life. I'll be back. Just like a ripped, roided out Arnold would say.